Hey guys, good morning. Happy Tuesday. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I got my morning started off right with a couple miles on the trail, and then I hit the bicycle, which has been an amazing experience. Definitely one of the best things I've bought during this pandemic downtime. So I wanted to talk to you briefly about fear, because fear is something that we all experience in some form or fashion. It can stop us from saying the things that we know we need to say, or doing the things that we know we need to do. And it can be a really crippling emotion, and that's why they say the only thing to fear is fear itself. It's not fearing what's scary, but fearing the emotion of fear and how much it can impact our lives. And one of the things that I have constantly had to learn on this journey is, instead of living a life trying to avoid my fears and making myself comfortable within this small box, in order to expand and grow, I have to push past my fears. I have to actually lean into them, because your fears and your triggers are telling you where you need healing, where you need to dive deep and take some action, so that you're not letting fear control every aspect of your life. And I'll give you a great example with the bicycle. So I have not had a bike since I was a kid. The last time I rode, I was probably maybe 10 years old. And so when I first, got a bike, it was a scary experience. That feeling of not having control, not knowing how to do this thing that used to be very easy for me. But instead of letting that fear take over me, I just did a little bit at a time. So when I first got the bike, I actually fell because I just wasn't comfortable. But I didn't let that stop me. And so tap into that childlike energy. Think about, you parents, how many times did your kids fall before they learned how to walk? They didn't let those falls stop them. But somewhere along the way, when we become adults, when we trip up one time, we just build this box and build these walls around us, instead of letting that be our teacher and guide us to where we need to learn. Because that's all it is. It's a place where we haven't gone before. And we may stumble, but that's okay. That's a part of life. You're not going to come out of the box and be perfect. LeBron James did not start out of the womb dunking, even though it seems like he might have. It took practice, it took mastery, and from competence comes confidence. And so when I got my bike, I started out just a little bit around the neighborhood until I felt comfortable, and then I pushed further and further. And where I used to resist, for instance, when you hit a curve and that bike starts moving, typically I'm going to ride the brakes. But then I decided to just breathe and flow with the bike and lean into the curves, which is the same thing as leaning into your fears. And it became a beautiful experience. So now I thoroughly enjoy my bike rides. And I love the feeling of just moving quickly and the wind blowing through my hair. And so I really encourage you to examine your life. What are you avoiding out of fear? And take action towards that fear, not away from, towards, because you are not going to think yourself out of your fears. You're only going to remove your fears through action and through realizing, oh shit, this was all in my head the entire time. And it may be scary. So what? Courage is having fear and doing the thing anyway. And so I encourage you to use this downtime to tackle a fear. If you've been thinking about starting a blog, but you fear nobody's going to like what I have to say, you have that idea for a reason. So don't worry about everyone else. You don't have to be a webmaster. Start a very basic page. You can get better from there. Don't worry about that. But really use the time that you have to expand, because that's the great thing about pushing past fears. Once you do it, you don't go back, you don't shrink. Your awareness and your abilities just continue to grow outwards. And so I really encourage you to not let fear stop you from living life, because a life inside a box is not fun. It's not ideal. Life is beautiful when you allow yourself to continually expand and take in everything around you without fear or judgment. And so I hope that this inspires you to tackle one thing today. Just do something. It doesn't have to be the whole thing. Just take a step. That creates momentum. And if you need help, reach out to someone who's a master in whatever you're trying to do. A lot of people are very much willing to share their knowledge, and Google is free. So I hope you have a fantastic day. Get out, enjoy the sunshine, move and stretch your body, learn something today, Make the most of your time here on earth, because the last thing you want to do when your time comes is say, I wish I had more time. You didn't need more time. You just didn't use the time that you had. Take care. See you later.